If you are going to Boston for the Boston Marathon, whether you're running it or spectating, if you love running, there are tons of events happening during that weekend. And today we're going to go through a lot of them so that way you can navigate and have an amazing time. Hey runners, my name is Letty. I am the host of the Marathon Running Podcast, and I also have this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. And in today's video, we're gonna go over some events that I found online that sounded good to me to add to a list of events that are happening during the Boston Marathon weekend. And I want to start with the ones hosted by the BAA, the Boston Athletics Association, which obviously we're gonna start with the EXPO. The official expo takes place at the John Heinz Convention Center. If you are a runner, you're gonna get your bib there. So the expo actually takes place Friday through Sunday, and that is gonna be from 10 to 7 on Friday, 9 to 7 on Saturday, and 9 to 6 for Sunday. But the expo is not the only thing that the BAA is putting on. The BAA is also putting on something called FanFest. It used to be an event that was hosted on Copley Square, which is right smack down next to the expo in that little area. However, due to construction, they have moved it. And now for the second year, this event is going to take place at City Hall Plaza, which is not too far. The hours of FanFest are 3 to 8 for Friday, 11 to 8 for Saturday, and 11 to 6 for Sunday. Now, the last event listed by the BAA on their website is going to be the after party. And now we're jumping fast forward to Monday. This is the post-race after party hosted by Sam Adams, the official brewing company for this event. And that's going to take place at Samuel Adams Brewing Company, and that's going to be from 4 to 7 p.m. And of course, I'm going to link that down in the description. But now let's hop back, let's go back for Friday, and let's talk about all these events that you're going to be able to find close to the Boston Expo, just around that same vicinity. And the first event that I'm going to plug right here is the one that I'm actually co-hosting with UCAN. We're going to do a Q&A live panel with Kiera D'Amato, the American record holder. And that's going to be taking place in Marathon Sports in the store, which is at 939 Boylston. And that's going to be on Friday at 4 p.m. Come by, listen to her speak. We're going to have some amazing questions for her. We're also going to do audience Q&A. And then you guys are going to be able to take a picture with her and have your stuff signed. So that's with Kiera D'Amato. I'm very, very excited for that. So that kicks off Friday basically for me. After that, at 5 o'clock, there is another event that sounds enticing to me, which is the Cheers to Boston Welcome Party by Runna and Best Day Brewing. Runna is a artificial intelligence run program. It's an app where you can train for your marathon, and I've used it in the past. I've liked it. So that's basically their social event to kick off this whole Boston weekend. And it's going to take place at 337 Newbury Street, also close by. Again, I'm going to post that down in the description. I will probably try to make it there as well. And I know that all of these events are pretty close to each other. So even if you show up a little bit late, this one is from 5 to 6:30. You don't want to be the first one anyway. Last but not least, also on Friday is the Tracksmith kickoff party to the marathon weekend. And that's going to be at the Trackhouse, 285 Newbury Street. And that one is from 6:30 to 9 p.m. I'm going to also link that below. Make sure, especially for this one, that you check an RSVP to the event because they might be sold out already. And if they are, maybe there's a wait list. Just make sure you check that out. All right, so that takes us to Saturday. And on Saturday, there are shakeout runs, of course. Running events always have shakeout runs that happen in the morning. So for Saturday, there is a Tracksmith Shakeout Run. And again, that's going to be at the Trackhouse, which is at 285 Newbury Street. Again, linked below. Please RSVP. It starts at 8:30. And another shakeout that I found for Saturday that sounded interesting is a 2-mile shakeout run by Shocks, where they let you demo their headphones. And that's going to be at 939 Boylston Street. And if you recognize that address, again, that's Marathon Sports at Boylston Street. And that's going to be at 9 o'clock. It'll be linked below. Then also for Saturday, I found a little bit of a different event. New Balance is hosting a relay that takes place indoor at the track by New Balance, which is located in Brighton. Again, linked below. And that event, I don't think you can sign up for the relay anymore. I know there's a wait list if you really want to run and be part of someone's relay. I think you can maybe still figure out a way there, but the website will tell you. Doors open at 3 o'clock. The event starts at 3:30, and they will have food, and I'm sure they'll have music and all sorts of stuff. So that should be a fun event. I'm going to definitely try to make it out to the track by New Balance in Brighton. Now, last but not least, another Saturday event at 5 o'clock is the course preview by Runna. Again, the company that has the app that does coaching. They have their experts out at 337 Boylston, which I'm not sure what building that is, but that's where Runna is going to have their hub, and they're going to do that. They're going to talk about the race and what you guys can expect if you're running it. If you're running Boston and you haven't done that, that's always highly recommended, because then that way you can kind of figure out where to not overexert yourself so you can have a good race. So that's it for Saturday. Now Sunday, the day before the marathon, obviously we're going to see more shakeouts there, and I'm going to list 4 of them down below, and I'm going to tell you about them right now. So the first one is going to be the Rabbit and Kafuzi shakeout. Kafuzi is obviously the YouTuber that does running content, and he's going to be hosting it with Rabbit, the brand. And usually they have good events and they have some snacks after, or at least I think they had that last year. They had screen printing for Rabbit shirts at the place where they hosted. This year they're going to host it at 117 Newbury Street, and it's going to take place at 9 a.m. At the same time, unfortunately, there is another shakeout hosted by Tracksmith at 285 Newbury Street at the Trackhouse. Doors open at 8:30, again RSVP down below. And yeah, so I guess you have to make decisions, right? But there's other shakeouts too. If you want to double up on shakeouts, there are other shakeout runs too, and let's talk about those. There's a shakeout by Cooldown, Ultra, Features, and Garmin. So you have a multi-brand, 4 different brands hosting a shakeout together. Obviously, they're probably going to have a ton of giveaways. Obviously and probably. That's what I'm assuming. It's going to take place at 939 Boylston Street, Marathon Sports. I recognize that address by now, and that's going to be at 10 o'clock. Last but not least, there is the brand called Backline, and they have their shakeout. It's a 5K shakeout. And Backline is a brand that I bumped into literally during a shakeout run. I think it was 2 years ago, and I was just really impressed by the owner, because I ran into them in the Commons Park, and I just ran with them because I was looking for a shakeout run, and the owner bought everybody Danishes afterwards. And that just left a really good memory. And after that, I was kind of sold on Backline, because these are the smaller brands and they make a difference. We want to support them, right? So the Backline shakeout takes place at Boylston and Charles Street. That's where they meet up. And they ended at Levain Bakery. I'm hopefully not mispronouncing it. That takes place at 10 o'clock, same time as the multi-branded shakeout run that I just mentioned. And I'm going to link it in the description so you guys can find it better. With all that, let's move on to Monday, the day of the actual marathon. There are cheer stations all along, hosted by different brands. I'm not going to get into those because I know if you're in Boston, you're either going to be running it or you're there because you're spectating for a loved one. So I'm not going to tell you about these cheer stations that you're not going to go to probably anyway, just because you want to follow the person that you're there watching or you're running it. But you're welcome to just Google cheer stations and you'll find a ton of brands, and they will list at what mile marker they will be there. And I'm sure it is a party and it's amazing. But let's talk about some after parties. Tracksmith is hosting an after party on Monday, starting at 12 o'clock, where they will have free posters, great vibes, and the regular Tracksmith experience. Now, if you want to attend a different type of after party in a nightclub, you can go to the after party hosted by After Miles and Red Bull, which will take place at Club Venue. However, I know that I just said club, but this is Club for Runners, so you're not going to be going there late at night. This after party will be hosted from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. There will be drinks and DJs and metal engraving. So try to make it to Club Venue at 100 Warrenton Street. Link below, RSVP, get your tickets. You know the deal. Now, if you are still in Boston on Tuesday and you want to recover, you can come do yoga with Runna at 337 Newbury Street. There are sessions you can sign up for online, going to be linked below, and just stretch out or just relax, whatever it is that you need to do after marathon or marathon spectating. Spectating can be hard too. You will see me there post spectating. And last but not least, just to close this off, Tracksmith is also still going to be open on Tuesday for, again, the free posters and the poster stamping, which I forgot to mention, but Tracksmith does stamp your poster with your marathon finishing time, which is kind of a cool thing to do. I know many friends that have the whole wall full of posters with their Tracksmith finishing times. So that's that. And that concludes it. If you guys have any other events that you feel like I should have mentioned and I didn't, put them down in the comments below so other people can see what other events there are too, and everyone can just be happy and dandy. And that's basically the goal of all of this, right? We're runners. We love to run. Good luck with Boston. Don't overdo it that weekend, but also have fun. And with that, have a great week of running and good luck in Boston.